Good morning. Mateo's wrath. Winter Storm Mateo grips the Midwest with a blanket of snow. Coming up, a look at the heaviest hit areas.
The Winter Games opening ceremonies are tonight for the Winter Olympics. We're live in South Korea.
And cops shop. Muncie police officers trade in their squad cars for shopping carts. We'll tell you what was on their list.
Get the coffee ready and open up those eyes. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather.
From Ball State Unified Media, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather with Nathan, Tanner, Emerson, Katie, and Ballant, live from the Ball State Weather Center.
And good Friday morning to you. You're waking up with Cardinal Weather. I'm Tanner Holbrook.
And I'm Emerson Lehman. We're joined this morning by Ballant Salavari. And Ballant, we're going to get right to you. There's a lot of snow going on in the Midwest. What can you tell us?
A lot of snow is an understatement, to say the least. So live look at radar throughout much of the northern Great Plains. Winter Storm Mateo, that's been the big story maker so far. Here it is, working its way through the Chicagoland region into parts of Michigan. More snow further out to the west, and you can see this defined U-shape working its way through. It's because all the snow is riding along the polar jet stream, giving it that unique shape. Now, winter storm warnings are in effect through much of the day today, still throughout a great portion of northern Indiana, Michigan, and the Chicagoland region. Those areas in purple are winter weather advisors. Now, here locally, we did see a few overnight flurries, not here in Muncie, though. We remain clear overnight. However, when we zoom back out one more time again, here's Mateo. And all this snow working its way through central Michigan is being amplified by lake effect snow. That's bringing heavier snowfall totals into the region. And for the precision cast on the snowfall totals, the majority of the snow is going to be remaining further to the northern portion. So don't expect a lot of snow here throughout the weekend in Muncie. However, you can see there by the deep purples, Chicago all the way through Detroit expected to receive that heavy bulk of snow.
All right, thank you, Ballant. Northern Illinois and southern Michigan, as you said, are set to receive the heavy bulk of the snow today, with those locations predicted to receive about 6 to 12 inches of snow.
Yeah, Emerson, that's right. Included in Mateo's line of fire is my hometown in Coldwater, Michigan. And joining us now via Skype is my mom, Tammy Holbrook. She works at the Branch County Courthouse in Michigan, where they actually closed because of the storm today. Good morning, Mom.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
How are you?
How are you doing, Mom?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Okay, so they actually closed your work today. Just tell me a little bit about the decision that went into that.
Well, I think that they closed just as a precautionary measure. They just wanted to make sure that employees were not on the roads trying to get to work in the morning. All of the schools in the area have been closed. I know Quincy to the east of us and Bronson to the west of us yesterday at some point declared a snow emergency, but that was not to keep people from driving in the towns. It was just to keep the roads clear so that those snowplows could get through yesterday and then today. Obviously, all of the snowfall that Ballant was talking about is happening right now.
Yeah, so yeah, as I can see behind you, it looks pretty snowy outside. Tell me a little bit about the driving conditions. I know you were talking to Dad as he went into work. Just go ahead and tell me about that.
Sure. He actually only said he incurred one car on the way into work today. But he said driving conditions at this point are pretty good. It does look like, as Ballant was talking about, the snowfall is coming down pretty heavily at a pretty good pace. Overnight, we probably only got about 1 inch of snow, but right now I would say we've made up for that.
And tell me a little bit about the snowfall you are set to receive. I know we talked earlier, you said maybe almost a foot of snow we could expect.
Yeah, local weather reports are saying that we could receive probably 10 to 12 inches before it's all over with today.
All right, Mom. Well, thank you so much for coming on the program. It's great to see you. We'll see you tomorrow, Mom.
All right, see ya.
All right,
bye, guys.
Thank you, Mom. And Cardinal Weather's Joe Struce is at the whiteboard this morning, breaking down the science behind this powerful winter storm. Joe, what exactly happened this week?
Hey, good morning, Tanner. That's right. Last week, Ballant was here breaking down the science with winter lake effect snow. This morning, we're going to talk about the other phenomena, the standard synoptic winter storm. Yesterday, we had a stationary front seated across most of the central United States. I've illustrated here these two orange arrows, which kind of simulate the southerly pool of moisture into the Midwest. As we moved through the night last night, we saw some more rapid what's called moisture advection, the horizontal movement of air from the Gulf of Mexico into the Midwest. As we got this warmer air, this moisture into the Midwest, we saw the defined setup of a warm front and a cold front because we had pretty strong air moving in from the northwest, bringing in cold air. So you have this mixing of warm air and cold air, just like when we think about summer thunderstorms that creates those intense thunderstorms that intense convection, so to speak. With winter storms, we're really focusing on the area behind the low pressure system. This area right here is known as the deformation zone. So what happens is the warm air is able to move up from the south. The warm front acts as a lifting mechanism, forcing the air upward into the atmosphere. Right now, wind speeds aloft in the atmosphere are as high as 125 knots. This is pulling the air out, so as the air begins to rise, it gets pulled out and falls back down. Well, it falls back down on the backside of the low pressure system in the deformation zone, and we see it fall in the form of snowfall. Now, this current snowfall, the current low pressure system is sitting just south of Chicago, where the heaviest snowfall was forecasted by our models. Right now, we're seeing what's another phenomenon known as a sharp cutoff. The warm front currently seated just south of Chicago is allowing for that warm air to move up and in to where we're still seeing that heavier snowfall. That being said, the warm air behind it is actually above freezing right now, as well as at about 2,000 feet up in the atmosphere, 5,000 feet up in the atmosphere, we're seeing that warm air continue to move in, making temperatures actually sit above freezing higher in the atmosphere. If your temperatures are above freezing, you can't have snowfall. Therefore, where we have the heaviest pocket of snow, it falls as snow, and then it rapidly declines down to freezing rain and rain just south of those heaviest bands. We have to break down the science here. Thank you to Liz Sufchek for letting me scribble all over her graphics. Send it back to you guys. Tanner?
All right, Joe, thank you. Well, NASA is gearing up to launch its GOES-S satellite. The satellite will provide faster and more accurate data to track storm systems. GOES-S will join the GOES-16 and NOAA 20 satellites. Director of the National Weather Service, Louis Ussolini, says that the GOES-S will be able to further improve weather forecasts across the entire country. It will also help forecasters spot wildfire hotspots shortly after they begin. And coming up, temperatures are continuing to drop in Pyeongchang. Find out how athletes are staying warm.
And how satellites played a major role in a rescue effort after Weather Now. Welcome back to Waking Up with Cardinal Weather. Pyeongchang has already been dubbed as the coldest games in decades. Temperatures dropped to -9 degrees with wind chills dipping even further below zero. The frigid temps in South Korea were funneled in by a cold air system from Siberia. The Olympic Village on the coast will deal with cold ocean winds, while the mountain regions will be susceptible to temperatures as much as 10 degrees lower. Battery-heated jackets will protect U.S. athletes at the opening ceremony. The 3-hour event is expected to have drawn 35,000 spectators. Officials handed out blankets and also provided heat lamps and windshields.
And as athletes prepare for the bitter cold expected during the Olympic and Paralympic Games, researchers at NASA are aiding in predicting the weather during the Games. NASA is one of 20 agencies to gather in the Republic of Korea as participants in the project known as the International Collaborative Experiments for the Pyeongchang 2018 Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games, ICEPOP for short. The international team is studying how well they can measure snow from the ground and from space to better provide accurate data for snowstorms.
Well, Tanner, speaking of satellites, 275 people were rescued by the help of NOAA satellites. The NOAA satellites are a part of International Search and Rescue Tracking Systems. How it works is a NOAA satellite picks up a distress signal, then the satellite relays that information to authorities. And transitioning back to local news, the Muncie Police Department is handing out more than citations in 2018. Check out this cool story involving some members of the Muncie law enforcement.
This wasn't your average shopping trip for Muncie police officers Chase Winkle and Sarah Mensch. They traded in their police cars for shopping carts and took to the aisles of Meijer here in Muncie to shop for.
We were shopping for toys and things to give out to members of the community, particularly children.
That's right, toys. From dump trucks to Barbie dolls, officers Mensch and Winkle filled their carts to the brim, all to fill their squad cars with goodies to hand out to children they and other officers meet while on patrol.
I'm not working, Sarah's working, and vice versa. So the basket will always be available. The idea is for other officers on the shifts to know that that basket's available and to make the phone call if they run into children that they want to give gifts to or they feel are in need.
The idea was founded by Winkle, who pays $150 out of his own pocket each month to go towards the cost of the community toy box. The rest paid by community donations.
With a simple Facebook post, we saw community donations of about $1,000 in the month of January. Went and bought gifts and put a post up again a few days ago that it was time to fill up my basket again, and got another $1,000 donated.
Winkle says any time they can interact with children is positive. Children like the daughters of Taylor Nelson, who were recipients of coloring books and a board game from Officer Winkle.
He came and got the situation under control, and then later on he brought the kids in a couple coloring books and a game, and it really changed the situation for them. It went from a scary situation and also not knowing the officers to feeling more comfortable.
A positive impact officers Mensch and Winkle are happy to be a part of.
And anyone interested in contributing can send payments to the Muncie City Hall.
The water in California's Bigsby Creek Bridge looked a little different on Monday. Big Sur is home to some pretty incredible views in the U.S., but a bloom in bioluminescent phytoplankton has caused the waves to glow. A photographer in California captured these images with a star-filled sky and lights from waters. Reports of the glowing waters down the California coast have increased since January. Specialist Steve Haddock from the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute said that this is most likely because of a combination of high nutrient rates and calm conditions that have caused highly concentrated dinoflagellates in the water to form. And now it's time to get a check of your local weather with Ballant.
Hey, good morning. Current temperatures out the door have Muncie sitting right above the freezing point, 34 degrees with winds south at 11 miles per hour, making it feel like 25 here, and some snow on the ground taking a look towards downtown. Temperatures across the state right now, Indianapolis 33 degrees, 32 in Bloomington, and then Lafayette sitting at 34. However, when we factor in those wind chills, it feels about 10 degrees colder. Feels like temperature of 24 in Indy, 23 in Kokomo, and 30 degrees in Lafayette. However, do not let that fool you, because take a look at this. Within the past 24 hours, 19 degrees warmer in Indianapolis, 22 here in Muncie, and 20 in Urbana-Champaign. That's going to be driving up temperatures for the remainder of the day. And remember how I said that winds are coming from the south? That's a big factor in that. So for the morning commute, 34 degrees by 10 o'clock, giving it green conditions. Pretty fair conditions despite overcast skies. We'll see winds ranging anywhere between 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then as the day progresses by 1 p.m. early lunchtime, 41 degrees, southwest winds 14 miles per hour. So the winds will start to pick up midday. And then by 4 p.m., this will be our high for today, 44 degrees. However, we will see some snow in the region. I don't think it's going to affect us locally here. By 1 p.m., you can see this band of snowfall. These areas of pink indicate some areas of freezing rain. That's going to continue to remain north of us through the early afternoon hours, heading on into the evening hours. Just overcast skies forecast for here throughout 5 p.m. Then for tonight, temperatures are going to drop down to an overnight low of 18 degrees. North-northeast winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour, and only a 20% chance for overnight snow. We're not expecting much, light dusting at most. So here it is again, Precision Cast. We'll pick this back up at 9:30 p.m. You can see some isolated snow flurries working their way a little bit closer to home here. And then as the overnight hours progress, that's going to work its way in. Early morning into Saturday morning around 5 p.m. we'll see that next line work its way through. That's going to set up for overcast skies the entire day before our next chance for snow returns later on. By midnight, you can see more snow and these areas of pink again. The freezing rain is going to work its way in. So this is where it's going to be a little bit tricky through the morning hours on Sunday, as that's going to be hugging right through Muncie, Delaware County, and further north towards Marion. The snow is going to be further north So that could lead to anywhere to about 1/10 of an inch of snow or ice accumulation, shall I say. However, behind it by Monday, we'll see clearing conditions following. And then for the 7-day forecast, an active weekend for the weather, 30 for the high on Sunday. However, after that, we're going to see temperatures ramp back up to above average, even possibly breaking the 50-degree mark by Thursday. A brief rain chance on Wednesday with a 30% chance for rain. And then by Friday, a high of 36 with mostly cloudy skies.
Yeah, Val, looking forward to that 50 degree.
You're waking up with Cardinal Weather.
8:16 on your Friday morning. Welcome back to Waking Up with Cardinal Weather. Time now to take a look at some items that are trending. And while some people were watching the Super Bowl, some were tuned into their social media as Kylie Jenner shared some exciting news. The reality TV star announced on social media Sunday that she had given birth to a baby girl on February 1st. Jenner told her millions of followers, "I'm sorry for keeping you in the dark through all the assumptions," and she went on to briefly discuss her pregnancy and why she decided to hide it from social media. She also included the gender of her baby and the day she arrived. It was later confirmed that the baby's name is Stormy. The 20-year-old shared a lengthy montage of videos documenting her pregnancy on her YouTube page, which included visuals of her and the baby in the delivery room. The new addition is the first child for Jenner and her boyfriend, Travis Scott.
You know, Tanner, good for her for keeping it to herself.
Yeah.
You know, she didn't need to be sharing it all on social media throughout the
And
process.
usually you associate Kardashians with blasting everything in their personal lives. So yeah, they
mixed
really
it up a little bit this
they
time.
kept it to
Good for
themselves,
her.
yeah.
And speaking of social media, I'm sure you've heard about it or experienced it already. Snapchat released a new update this week, and it's causing a firestorm online. Take a look at some of the tweets that have been received. Some on Twitter calling the new update confusing. The new update combines the messaging and story features, eliminating the stories page and bringing more focus to the discoveries page. And Tanner, I know we both feel the same on this. It's Snapchat screwed up on this one.
Well, you know, it's kind of like the thing where, you know, Facebook likes to change their app all the time, and now it's Snapchat that's changing. So
it's okay to adapt to change, but I just think they missed
they missed the mark on that one. So
Snapchat, do better.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to bring back an old segment that we used to have actually a few semesters ago. It's time to get cooking with Alicia. Good morning.
Up their breakfast for their loved ones coming up on Valentine's Day. So it's on a budget because as college students, there's not much money around Valentine's Day, so this was all under $11. And I'm gonna get to show Billy and Tanner how to make them.
Hello.
Hello. What are your guys' plans for Valentine's Day?
I'm gonna make pancakes.
Make
yeah,
pancakes?
apparently we're making
Awesome.
pancakes.
So we just have some sweet toppings.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So
We got strawberries.
Go ahead, use some whipped cream.
Again. Again. It's a tradition. We gotta do it.
He
Look at
has to.
a heart.
Yeah.
How beautiful is that? I love
Heart,
it.
strawberries,
Yeah, I'm gonna get some
chocolate
of these.
sauce,
Ooh.
even sprinkles.
So how do you recommend? I know you have your setup. So
Yeah.
how did you do this?
I just kind of topped it with some whipped cream, then I added some chocolate sauce, sprinkles, and strawberries. Kind of going for like a Buddy the Elf kind of breakfast.
Ooh.
Really sweet, really sugary. Who doesn't want to start off Valentine's Day with a sugar rush?
Yeah.
Sweetness.
Yeah, that's
Very
right.
sweet.
And
It's the holiday of sweetness.
It is the holiday of sweetness. Yeah. So all of this stuff. How much was all of this?
It was $11 altogether, but I got the name brand for chocolate sauce and for whipped cream, so you could save about like maybe $3 going for the general brand of that. So really awesome stuff. Like,
all right.
ooh, look
Yeah,
at Billy
look at
being
that.
really fancy. Look at this, guys.
I am an artiste. Well, anyway, thank you very much, Alicia, for joining us this morning. Coming up after the break, we do have our friends Josh Shelton and Kara Biernat in South Korea. That's after your weather now.
You're waking up with Cardinal weather.
Good morning, welcome back to Waking Up with Cardinal Weather, and we are joined now, Tanner, by our friends Andrew Smith and Sarah Lehman. They're at Minnetrista with a cool exhibit. Andrew, Sarah, good morning.
Yeah, thanks, Tanner and Emerson, and good morning, everyone. Sarah and I are live here at Minnetrista at a new exhibit that opened February 3rd that can bring out the kid in everyone.
That's right, Andrew. We're here at Dinosaur Discoveries, Ancient Fossils, New Ideas, and let me tell you guys, it's pretty cool. We got here a little early. We were looking around. There's some fossils that you can interact with and some games that you can play to see how different dinosaurs moved and ate and things like that. And we're joined now by Sam Condon, who is the communications specialist here at Minnetrista, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the exhibit.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Sam. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about the exhibit that we have here.
Perfect. So Dinosaur Discoveries, Ancient Fossils, New Ideas is from the American Museum of Natural History up in New York City. And so it's a touring exhibit, and it's been all around the United States. And dinosaurs are one of the biggest phenomenon in the world. And everyone loves Jurassic Park and Pixar's The Good Dinosaur. And so this gives kids and families of all ages the perfect chance to come in, learn about dinosaurs, see how they moved and interacted and just, lived. And that's really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, it is really cool. And like we said, we got to play around here and we liked it. If someone wanted to come, how can they and when can they come?
Okay, so this exhibit is open through July 29th. And we're open every single day from 9 to 5:30, except on Thursdays we have new evening hours through May. And that's from 6 to 8 p.m. So really all week long you can come in and enjoy the exhibit. If you're members, it's free. If you're not a member, it's $5. Kids 3 and under are free.
Oh, cool. So $5, that's not a lot to come and see this awesome exhibit from New York, like you said. And it has a lot of interaction. So talk a little bit about some of the interactive things that you have here.
So we have different types of fossils that kids can interact with. So we have necks, shoulders, skulls, legs, and all different kinds of things. So you can learn how the dinosaurs moved, how they ran, how the long necks, were able to reach up in the trees, and yeah, it's really cool. And then of course there's a lot of text that kids can learn if, whether or not an asteroid actually hit it or if there was a lot of other things going on.
Right, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but actually right behind us we do have one of those exhibits. The right behind it is like the skull of the dinosaur. So that's really cool, and it's a really neat thing that not a lot of people probably have seen ever. So how did it come to Muncie? How did we get it?
So our visitor experience team and our Vice President, Rebecca Gilliam, was able to contact the American Museum and bring it here with us.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us. And if people want to find out a little bit more information, how can they do that?
By visiting minnetrista.net or calling 765-282-4848.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll send it back to you guys at the studio.
Thanks, Andrew and Sarah. pretty cool prehistoric exhibit there. And I want to say that temperatures in a great portion of the northern Great Plains feeling a little bit ice age like. Take a look at this. -1 degrees in Billings and 2 degrees in Minneapolis right now. 25 in Kansas City. Dallas-Fort Worth sitting at 51 degrees. And then as the day progresses, we're going to see a nice warming here through Indiana. 45 degrees the forecast high for Cincinnati. Note the average for this time of year for portions of Ohio and Indiana are right around 35 degrees. So those greens, that's indicating those warmer temperatures working their way up due to southerly flow from the south. Warmer air moving in from the tropics. 75 degrees in Miami Beach, 62 in Pensacola, and 69 in Dallas-Fort Worth, the forecast high for today. And as they are taking a look through the northern portions of Indiana into Michigan, that winter storm warning for Winter Storm Mateo still in effect throughout much of the afternoon, forecasting anywhere between 6 to 12 inches of snow. And then for the live look at radar, we're seeing this working its way through amplified effects of lake effect snow working through Michigan, and then snow further back building further towards Billings, Montana. All this snow is riding the polar jet stream, giving it that unique U shape, and that's all going to work its way into portions of Indiana through the weekend. Through Precision Cast here, you can see we're going to get a nice combination of rain and snow here all the way through Saturday. Continuing to build, and those areas of pink are indicating where we could see some freezing rain. That's going to work right through Muncie and Tanner and Emerson. That's going to lead to a pretty messy forecast for Sunday morning through the overnight.
That's right. Hopefully everybody stays safe out there driving. We don't want to have any incidents, things like that, but I'd be okay with just regular rain, no freezing rain. Let's hope for that. Coming up, we have live updates from the first day of the Winter Olympics.
That's right. We'll be back after your weather now.
You're waking up with Cardinal Weather.
And taking a look for South Korea, we got some new graphics in just through the weekend. So precipitation forecast throughout. Note that the time being displayed is current to Pyeongchang and regions of South Korea. Some pop-up showers throughout southern portions. I don't think we're going to see any snow or any rain accumulating through a great portion of Pyeongchang towards Seoul. So northern Korea is going to be relatively clear, just some cloud coverage throughout. Now, when we take a closer look though, some isolated showers are possible and snow flurries towards Bakwang. Phoenix Snow Park seeing some snow, and then the rest of the region where we're going to see the Olympic Games take place through Saturday midday through the evening hours should remain snow-free. However, chilly temperatures, that's been the story so far. They're calling that this Olympics Games is going to be the coldest Winter Olympics within the past several decades. And by Saturday, 4 p.m., working its way through the evening hours, temperatures in the lower 20s, 23 degrees at Yeongpyeong resorts, 35 degrees near Gyeongnyeong. That's due to some maritime influence, hence they're seeing temperatures about 15 or 13 degrees warmer than the remainder of this region where the Olympic Games are taking place, and 29 degrees for Pyeongchang by Saturday at 6 p.m. So pretty frigid temperatures. That's going to be the story throughout much of the games. And those areas of dark blue on the map really just display that.
All right, Balin, thank you. Well, we do have some friends there. As today marks the start of the Winter Olympics, 5 students from Ball State are getting a first-hand look at the festivities.
That's right, Tanner. Waking up with Cardinal Weather's Kara Biernet and Josh Shelton join us live now from Seoul, South Korea. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, guys, or should I say good night, as we finally made it here to South Korea for the 2018 Winter Olympics. But it's just over about 10 p.m. here, I think. And, you know, as I think as we're going into this tomorrow, you guys talked about record-breaking temperatures. Josh, what are we going to need to do tomorrow when we go out there?
Well, right now it's 36 degrees here, and it's only going to get colder as we get closer to the mountains. And the further we get up, the windier it gets. Record lows, like you said, and the wind chill is going to be close to unbearable. But we're looking forward to it every step of the way and can't wait to be in Pyeongchang tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to stay in Seoul for this night, and I think about noon tomorrow, you'll have coverage from us all week at the 2018 Winter Olympics. So for Josh Shelton, I'm Kara Biernat, live in Seoul.
All right, Josh, Kara, thank you so much. Ballant, one final look at the weather.
Well, throughout the next 7 days, we're going to see snow work its way back into the region. Greater chance for Sunday, 70% chance. That's going to be a possibility to see some freezing rain in the forecast. Still a little bit of questions there in terms of timing. Well, not really timing, but rather we'll see rain, snow, or freezing rain. So we're going to pinpoint that further down. But following above average temperatures, it might even break the 50-degree mark by Thursday.
All right, Ballant, thank you very much. Well, that does it for this morning on Cardinal Weather. Thanks for joining us.
In the meantime, be sure to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Snapchat, and have a great rest of your Friday.